Hey everyone, Michelle here from Scrappy Soul Sister, and I am here with a Peartree cut file process video. And this is using this August Maine cut file that is this sprinkle or this assortment of compasses. I'll have to look up the name, I don't remember it off the top of my head. But it will be in the notes or the description, as well as a link to that cut file. And yeah, I'm excited to use this. I cut it out of Botanical Buzz, one of the solids from that collection. Now, I just picked up this collection. I'm excited to use it for this layout. And I printed out this picture of my daughter, Julia. This is from this summer. We went on a hike at Mount Hood, and this waterfall was just gorgeous. And it begins with a T, and it's a long name that I can't remember. But if you like to hike, it's an easy one to find by searching for Mount Hood waterfalls. And if I think about it, I'll put that in the name of that in the description as well. I just printed it on a heavy white cardstock in a 5x7 because I wanted it to kind of have that old fashioned kind of feel. So I might even sand the edge as well and maybe ink it a little bit. And then I haven't decided, I haven't even looked as far as what I want to use behind it. If I want to do a paper from the collection, or if I am just going to do white and maybe do some mixed media. So yeah, I'm just starting on the process. I kind of like that kind of burlap. And then there's also some wood grains that might be pretty, but the lines kind of compete with that. I don't know. Yeah, so that might not be the best option. There are some florals. Which would be, whew. You know, I like this part up here, but the florals behind it, I don't know. I mean, a lot of it would be hidden behind the picture and the embellishments and stuff. So that might actually be a possibility. And then for my title, I have this peace and quiet perspective that I got from Marie's shop there at Peartree Cut File. So I thought I would use that. So I'm excited. So this is actually my last layout as part of the design team. I've really enjoyed my time, and I really thank Marie for giving me a chance. This was the first design team I ever joined, and it has been a lot of fun. I just want to make sure that scrapbooking stays fun and doesn't become a feeling of have to. And so I'm really trying to be careful of my commitments. And so that's the only reason, just taking a little break. Hopefully I'll be back in the future, and hopefully Marie will have me. So other than that, let's get to the layout. So the first thing I'm going to do is stuff up my photo a little bit. And so I am just using one of my platforms from my die cutting machine to do this. I find I don't like scuffing up my glass mat. And so this is a pretty forgiving surface for this. But I am just roughing it up. I have a Tim Holtz little sanding attachments for my little handle tool there. So I have done that, and now I am just going to ink it with vintage photo to kind of give it that like old-fashioned postcard type of grainy look that I was going for. So I am going to map my photo with this lovely blue background. I love that piece. And I am going to go ahead and use the barcode strip to go across my layout as well. So I take a look at my file in a couple different ways, and I decide to go with the darker uh, uh, side up for this. And so I'm going to go ahead and ink the outside of my pattern paper there with vintage photo as well. And I cut down my background so I can use the same dark brown to frame my pattern paper. And so that I'm off cutting it down as we speak. And so yeah, I have that. Going to ink a few pieces that I kind of goofed up when I was cutting it, and go ahead and adhere these together. And this layout really, it comes together really quickly. That is one of the benefits of using a large photo, that is for sure. So I get my background down and make a decision as far as which direction I'm going to have my compass cut file. And I am just going to use some double-sided tabs on some foam tape to in the centers of these, just in case I want to reserve the right to tuck pieces in. So it helps create that dimension that I really like. And then I go ahead and adhere or look at that belly band. I know I'm going to use it. Now, the picture, I have it kind of angled here, and it's like this for a while, but then I decide just to have it center dead on. It might not be centered uh, as far as it might be a little higher up on the layout than center, or a little lower, I don't remember, but I do have it from left to right, close to center. Going to go ahead and use adhesive to get that barcode strip down. I have inked that with vintage photo as well. And I look at my peace and quiet title in quite a few different places. I don't remember if I include that in in the final video, um, but it does end up in that bottom left. That's the best empty space. I want it to be on the photo. And now I'm going through my word strips. These come in the chipboard set for the Botanical Buzz. And I decide on these two. I like that they have the same font. And so these are the ones I end up with. So I'm going to take a look through my embellishment pieces. I always like to use some sort of tag or ticket or a couple different rectangular pieces to create some dimension and give myself something to tuck some florals and or some round elements into. And so I'm kind of playing with both sides right now, trying to figure out what I like. And I don't know how you all do it, if you audition things like this and it's just kind of a piled mess, or if you proceed with confidence and just glue things down as you go and call it a day. But this is my process that works the best for me, at least currently. So you'll see I have centered my photo. I'm going to use a little horizontal, well, I shouldn't say little because it's on the larger side, but that horizontal frame, or I'm sorry, hexagon I think, frame, and just tuck in part of it, just to give somewhere else for my florals and tags to nest in. And then I'm ready to start adhering. I've made my decisions. I'm going to be adding foam adhesive tabs to the tops of most of my elements because I find that's a good way to layer in things like flowers. It really gives you some space to insert those stems. And so I have used this hexagon or kind of beehive, or I guess it's more, I would say chicken wire um, die cut that I cut out of white. I love to add a little bit of white when it's a lot of color in a layout or a lot of solid feeling. And then the white flowers here help a lot with that as well. And so I decide I want to add a little bit of color. I would have loved yellow, but I didn't really. I have the yellow flowers in the laser elements there, but I wanted something with a little bit of a different profile. So I am going to add those tealy blue flowers that I have there from Little Birdie. I'm taking a look where I want my word phrase, and I am going to have it a little bit higher so it is not on the same plane as my title or my other word strip. And I'm going to add this larger honey element just to have something larger for scale. All right, everyone. I was so close to finishing and did not realize that I did not have um, my camera filming. So I thought I would just go over the last few things in person. So I added the little flowers here. Now I was building a cluster over here and I decided against that. Instead, I just did some stacked words. So I used the ribbon, live in the moment, and then my title, and then the radiate confidence, shine bright, and just added a few florals and a bee. And then I did some white splatters, and that is my layout. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe or give me a thumbs up or a comment. I always appreciate feedback. Have a great day, and I will see you on my next layout. Be sure to check out Peartree Cut Files. You won't regret it. Here are some close-ups.